Act 2 begins with us talking to Mithrax in the Tonic Lab. Unfortunately, Windows also reset my audio settings, so I will be doing Mithrax's voice for you today. I greet you, Guardian. Revenant catches are seen ferrying prisoners to abandoned quadrants of the reef. I fear Fickrell's rot has infected the prison of elders. You do well to hear Varix in this matter. He is not embraced with 4 arms, but his knowledge of the prison is unmatched. So it is actually Varix's lack of a 4th arm is addressed, and hopefully something comes of it, right? Like, why would you bring this up, and why would this be something that's addressed if it's not going to come up later? So hopefully some sort of resolution arrives regarding his arm, like Varix does something epic and he gets his arm back or something. That's probably, where the story's probably gonna head, but I don't know if that's gonna be like a it's gonna stick to the main story, or if that's gonna be like its own little side adventure. That's probably more what it's gonna be, and it's gonna somehow tie into the main story, but work with him to infiltrate it. Once you are inside, rip the Scorn apart until the air is rich with suffering. And when I've returned, I will burn the prison down myself. But first, see to our people, the captives. You are their only hope. I suppose I could take a breath and add a distortion filter over it, but it was missing, and so we talked to her at the holo projector. Obviously my father misspoke, Guardian. If right suits him, he cannot follow you into the field. Queen Mora would prefer that we keep any awoken structures intact, and my father respects that. He's dealing with a lot right now, and I know he relies on your better judgment. I'm sure the Queen will understand if we pick up a few items while we're inside though. There must be all sorts of useful material in the Prison of Elders, awoken tech, too. Bring me whatever you can find, and maybe I can develop some new tonics. I know it's been picked over a few times, but it's a big prison, maybe too big. A lot of prisoners lived out their final days in that place. So much misery and bloodshed. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Fickrell made his way back there. Alright, so it seems like we are headed back inside the Prison of Elders. The only time I've been there was actually when I had to defeat the current warden, which I assume is still the same warden as... I assume is the same warden still ruling the Prison of Elders. I know we fought him, but I don't know if we ever technically destroyed him. It is pretty neat that we're heading back to a location that we've previously been to. Especially one since it's related to Alexei heavily, and returning back there with Varix now kind of on our side and us being a part of Mithrax's force, and with Ido, this coalition going to fight Fickrell inside a prison which hosted a bunch of Alexei prisoners. Alright, so the Prison of Elders has been renamed to the Tomb of Elders. Wow, crazy. I guess technically my point was kind of addressed, since it's no longer a prison anymore, since it's kind of destroyed. So now it's the Tomb of Elders. Honestly, I kind of like it. Pretty cute on the naming scheme there. I'm curious to see how much it has, shifted from the last time we were there. Not that I remember the area too well. Varix, Guardian, after so many years, so much bloodshed, Varix regrets we must return to the Warden AI. Prison of Elders welcomes you. Impress your warden. Yes? Ido, Varix, who is that? Varix, a malfunction. Confused servitor from years past. Varix begs your pardon. Warden AI. Opponent identified. Hibernation shutdown sequence in progress. Varix, opponent? The warden is pulling prisoners from cold storage. Varix does not sound like chitters. Varix will fix this. For now, we continue. Yes? So the Warden of Nothing does still exist, and of course, it is the opposing force, and it is freeing a bunch of prisoners that we have to fight against. I wonder if it did the same for Fickrell, or if it just realized that, since we're here after Fickrell, that we're an enemy, or maybe it even recognizes our life force signature since it's a servitor. It is interesting here that we are fighting some dread opponents, mainly the annoying ones are the Grim. I completely forgot about their existence, and wow, they are way more annoying than I remember with their ability to silence. But, this entire area is, scaled to a normal difficulty, so everything dies fairly easily and without much thought, except, I noticed that was a husk, so I was like, all right, we gotta finish that, because if you don't, then the little husk thing actually pops out. So assume it like the parasite. It's enemy is the husk, and the parasite is what's living inside of it. After that, we can go ahead and proceed on over to the next cell block. Also, something I should probably talk about are the modifiers. Here we have the Scrapper modifier. Combatant melee attacks are significantly more powerful. Activates immediately. Obviously, the purpose of these modifiers are to change up the gameplay loop, but to be some of them actually do change up the gameplay loop. I will mention them when I actually encounter those ones, but some of them are just like completely useless, and you know, it's like, what is even the purpose of thinking about them? And part of the problem is that the combat is probably just like, it's too easy, to be honest. Like, there's no real reason for me to ever think about using the mechanic or thinking about using the modifier. I suppose it does help speed up like it does like boost your combat ability slightly if you do pay attention to it, but a lot of the modifiers are pretty pointless, and the only ones that really end up mattering are, you know, the ones that will kill you if you are not moving. That's a pretty big one. You can't really ignore that one. And I wish more of the modifiers were like haste. I'll just go ahead and say it, you know, I wish they were more like haste, where like, you know, if you are standing still, you take damage, and if you keep on moving, you will regen health. That one's really cool. I like that modifier. It, you know, fits in with my playstyle already, especially since Amplified Soul is all about that speed. I suppose I should go ahead and talk a little bit about the objective here. You know, while dealing with the Scorn, we have to go ahead and pick up a couple of explosives. These are just laying on the ground. Here we go. Here I pick up the 6 explosive. After that progression bar, we have another progression bar where we have to go ahead and arm the explosive itself in order to, you know, break down the walker's immunity shield. In addition to that, there is also some bonus challenges, which when completed grant you a stack of Warden's Favor, and each of these stacks basically give you some bonus rewards. So it's in our best interest to, you know, maintain 3 stacks of the Warden's Favor. Going to go ahead and shoot down the little Revenant totem. To be honest, I do forget them sometimes. I do forget like that they are even a mechanic, because to be honest, there's not that many times that they appear, which is kind of a shame. I feel like its frequency is kind of limited for being like a pretty core mechanic of the season. So the fact that I can just straight up forget about that, a mechanic that is pretty important, is not great. But, you know, I guess those are problems, not playing consistently. All right, with that encounter clear, we can progress. Varix, enough. Varix demands you initiate shutdown. Override code, loyal. Warden AI, doppelganger lockout protocol in effect. Haptic interference connections severed. Doppel, prison of elders belongs to Varix. Maybe belonged. Warden AI, fight, win, live. Warden AI, face judgment. So somehow the Warden AI has been hacked and taken over by Fickle. Here it is, haste. This is the modifier I was talking about. Or moving regens health, and staying still makes us take damage. Here we see at the top, the modifier is already taking effect before the encounter even starts, which is a thing. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter too much until the encounter starts, but here we are. So immediately I noticed that there's some darkness shard things laying on the ground, which I recognize as the little darkness resonances. And picking them up allows me to then deposit in the middle, which will then remove the immunity shield from the boss. Of course, I tried shooting them in order to, test what they were even about, and you just need to pick them up. I got to the resonance right before my teammate there. Boom. Kind of a race to see who can get as many faster. I guess it supposedly, it doesn't really matter who does it, because I don't think you even gain anything from it. It's just a little team thing. Make sure I don't fall into the lava. I'm pretty sure it's not an instant kill, but I like to treat it as it is, because there are a lot of moments where if you fall down a little crevice, you basically die. So doing my best to keep up my movement tech in order to make sure I don't fall dead. Here we are, popping my super at the very end to kill Psylocke the Defiled. It's a pretty easy boss. I mean, this is, like I said, just normal difficulty. I guess, honestly, the most difficult challenge in that room was honestly the modifier, and making sure I was constantly running and not staying still for 3 seconds. All right, with that, we go ahead and face the Warden AI. We win, and the Warden withdraws, but it also rewards us, which is pretty interesting. Varix the Warden withdraws, so must we. Ido, we took part in this blood sport. What now? Varix, servitor interference was unexpected, but Varix will be better prepared. Varix, we must push deeper into the prison, decipher Fickrell's purpose, prevent Revenant Scorn from overrunning the reef. Ido, I should send Petra an update. Good work so far, Guardian. Varix, the report. Varix's involvement is minimal. Yes. I mean, I don't think we are in charge of doing any reports. I mean, I guess maybe on the side, but I guess our ghost is honestly probably the one that's going to do the reporting for us. So not too big of a deal. The reef is technically not an area we can visit. I mean, we visited it previously, but it's not like an active area we can just go visit anytime. It might actually turn into that later on. It might be even the exotic mission. Might just be the only single reef or something, but I have no idea what that's going to be. It seems like, you know, it was probably going to do with the President of Elders, or technically the Tomb of Elders, like the secret final floor of the Tomb of Elders. So that might be where it's headed for the exotic mission. No idea what that's going to lead into, though. Alright, we return to Ido. Ido squints happily as she accepts the salvage you pilfered from the Tomb of Elders. Along with the new regions you've picked up from the awful place, you'll be able to develop new tonics to test on the battlefield. Keep asking Crow to let Aramis help us, but he's as immovable as a walker inside a web grenade discharge. I've been running tonic theory by her anyway. Apparently, tonic theory is just a thing. And I think we should see some new results. I mean, I guess it's not too surprising that tonic theory is a thing. Just, I don't even know why I'm specifically pointing that out. This entire digression was pointless. Soon, I hope for my father's sake. I think we should see some new results. Soon, I hope for my father's sake. And we can go ahead and pick up a Scavenger's Fate shotgun. Wow. Look at the perks on that. I have no idea. Precision Fame. Wow, cannot talk. Alright, after talking to Ido, we go ahead and chase after the waypoint in order to hear Crow's message. Guardian, I hope you're ready to get out there, because I sure am. Feeling a lot of angry calls lately. You ever picture me doing desk work? Don't answer that. Ido, you must free Aramis. The Crow, Ido, you can't just... What are you talking about? Ido, we aren't making any progress on our own. I need help developing new tonics. Ido, just think about how much Aramis has seen, how much she can know about old Reese. She can help us. The Crow, Ido, you know that... The Crow, Ido, you know that Aramis has a lot to answer for. Ido, she can't do that from inside a box. You're just wasting time. More listening are lost every day. Let her make amends by saving lives. The Crow, Aramis didn't come here to make amends. She came to us because Fickrell had the upper hand. The Crow, the people of the city trust us to keep them safe. I can't tell them I let a murderer run loose because she wished she was your friend. Ido, Scoss, you haven't changed. You worry so much about what people think of you. Ido, you don't care that Fickrell is out there turning hundreds of Lexi into hollow shells. Ido, or that my father is, that I don't know how to help him. The Crow, Ido, Aramis is your trophy, and that's all that matters to you. The Crow, hey, that isn't, Ido. The Crow, yeah, that went great. The Crow, I'll get you the latest from the field, Guardian. I just need a minute to secure comms. Wow. I don't think I'm going for either of the voice actors' positions anytime soon. So the Crow and Ido's voice actors can be rest assured in their job security, at least from me. Here, Ido going into an emotional outburst, just accusing Crow of not caring about the people, like just calling Aramis the Crow's trophy, and not acknowledging the Crow's fair point that Aramis has a lot to answer for. She is a murderer. I don't even know what Ido is specifically referencing here, where Ido is saying that Aramis can't help us from inside a box. But I don't know why that's the case. Like, what specifically do we need help with that Aramis is not able to do from inside her prison? And that's the biggest mystery and point of confusion on my mind. It's like, what kind of help do we need from Aramis in the first place? Like, I don't know what the problem is. I guess the problem is Ido is trying to cure her father's disease and is unable to do so. But I mean, it's a curse from Nezarec. So a Nezarec, pretty powerful being. the god of pain. So, I'm sure creating a potion that's the cure for a curse inflicted by the god of pain, probably not the easiest thing to do, especially since you've only just started dabbling in alchemy. So you might be rushing it. It's not been that long. Ido is also straight up, guilt tripping Crow, like I said, claiming that he doesn't care about the lives of Blixney, even though as the Hunter Vanguard, he is responsible for the safety of the entire city. And we know that, based on all of his actions and his evolution from Olensov into the Crow and everything that happened in the final shape and whatnot, that, obviously Crow cares. So this emotional outburst from Ido is extremely childish and cringe. So, hate to use that word, but it's true. She makes no good points. This is pretty self-centered, and I mean, Crow really did demolish her by saying that, he can't let a murderer run loose because you wish he was your friend. I mean, that's pretty cool from Crow, maybe could have worded that a little bit less harshly. Does seem like Ido is still like a kid based on, how everyone talks about her and how she talks. So, could have been a little bit nicer on her words, but, she doesn't have any good points and is completely emotional. Yeah, so, I mean, Ido, my father's condition is deteriorating. He's not himself. His mind veers constantly towards vengeance. He questions those most loyal to him, and I have nothing. No answers, no cure, only jars full of powders and a few hundred ancient texts I can't make sense of. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. You have enough to worry about. Barracks has some troubling reports from the old prison. Apparently there have been intruders, someone else with an interest in Fickrell's new abilities. He needs you over there right away. I don't know how much longer my father has, and if a Cal of Kells isn't there to challenge Fickrell, we have to end this soon. Well, Cal of Kells isn't there, but we are the Slayer Baron. Also, Ido's problems are pretty explained here. She is having trouble, trying to create the cure to Nezaric's curse, but like I pointed out, probably not the easiest thing to do. So, of course, her having some challenge there is not really a surprise. And I don't know how this is a situation Aramis can't help with from inside our prison. Like, why don't we just set up like an alchemy lab inside her cell? Or why don't we just give her some ancient text to read over while she's locked inside her cell? Like, the reason for why Aramis needs to be set free has not yet been explained at all. Like what is she unable to do that she has to be set free, according to Ido? Like, that's the biggest question I have in my mind. All right, the seasonal activity, Contest of Elders, is basically the Tomb of Elders, but multiple of the waves stacked up on top of each other, much like Riven's Lair and the Coil from season 23, from before the final shape. Wow, that was a while ago, huh? And I should caveat that when I say I wish these activities were harder, I wish there was a harder game mode or a higher level difficulty game mode version of the activity that I could play instead. And of course, for that harder difficulty in which more effort has to be spent, playing the game, obviously I would hope that the rewards would then be adjusted to compensate for that increase in difficulty. So when I say I want things to be harder, that's what I mean. I mean, obviously, increase in difficulty should come with an increase in compensation of, the rewards due to the effort spent in activity. Wow. That's not really a surprising thing to come up with. Like, wow, how novel. All right, after completing a run of the Contest of Elders, we return to the Tonic Laboratory and talk to Ido. Ido's forehead crinkles with worry. Thank you for patrolling the prison once again, but I wish you had encountered Fickrell down there, if only to confirm his whereabouts. The combined efforts of Houselight and Vanguard scouts haven't been able to find Fickrell either. Elixir enclaves across the system continue to burn. My father is running out of time. We all are. I guess I don't really feel the time crunch or pressure. I'm not really sure how this would even manifest in gameplay, because I suppose if we were able to see and witness the Elixir enclaves actually, being demolished through some sort of like media feed, or hear like radio messages of their parts of the civilization being destroyed, then there'd be like a greater impact. But there is a bit of a disconnect from the time crunch and pressure that Ido feels is upon her people and her father that isn't really completely translated to the player. Like a gameplay idea for besides like us hearing the radio messages or whatever, like specifically gameplay wise, we could like visit some of these enclaves and like liberate them from the Scorn attacking or something like that. But that's getting pretty, I mean, that would then involve creating multiple new maps of new areas or something. So I don't know, maybe if we could, maybe if they were like these locations placed onto or the pre-existing planet showing the integration within, you know, the rest of humanity, but it's not like there are that many other cities aside from New Mina. So that would also be pretty hard to do in this game. All right, after talking to Ido, we approach the holo projector. Mithrax, it pleases me to see you embrace the title of Slayer Baron. The dark ether of many scorn stain your armor. But against the dead, killing is not enough. It is clear that Fikrul seeks something within the prison of elders. What it is, we do not know. But I have a song in my blood, an intuition, which gives me fear. I mean, it's a prison. What are you going to be looking for in a prison besides a prisoner? Maybe like if they hid a secret artifact or something, but Fikrul already has an echo, which is arguably one of the strongest artifacts that we currently know of in the universe of Destiny, so it's almost certainly he's looking for a prisoner. Like, it's a prison. That it is a dangerous weapon from our past. A memory from a long dead house. Revived in darkness, you know? That's probably indicating that it's probably a prisoner, and that Mithrax thinks it's probably a prisoner, which it's probably a prisoner, seeing that it's a prison. Return to that prison and stop the Scorn from reviving that which should remain buried. This is when I realized that Windows had completely reset all my audio settings, so after changing all of them back, here it is. You can hear Varix and his voice actor instead of me. You're welcome.
Fikrul is here, if anywhere. Scouts have found no den, no hollow he calls home. He seeks a weapon or a corpse, perhaps both. Varix will search alongside you. Fikrul knows Guardians have faced hardship, trials in prison. He will not disappoint you by offering less, yes?
Alright, so Varix basically confirms that Fikrul is indeed here in the prison, and that he is indeed looking for something. I mean, not really, we didn't really learn anything new from that. Everything was, we already knew about everything from, you know, Mithrax's message, but it's good to hear Varix speak. Well, it's good to hear Varix speak, you know, on your end, because I already heard him speak, but here we are, continuing on. We face off some Grim. Wow. All right, after killing them, I go ahead and drop down.
The dread have come in great numbers.
Carrion feeders, hungry for the crew's power. Do not let them stop you.
Yep, so they're basically part of the Witnesses' forces that have ended up with Fikrul, and they are here to stop us.
The Warden has locked us out of the administrative systems. I cannot assist from here.
The local controls are old, prone to errors. There may yet be a way forward.
All right, so we are locked off from progressing past this room, so it's up to us to figure out how to escape. I decide that, you know, jumping to the top is probably not what we're meant to do, so I end up running around the map and just activating all the control panels.
An old failsafe prevents many doors from remaining open at once. We can force a reset, yes?
Whether I had to just activate all the panels or interact with the correct one first, I have no idea, but I went ahead and did so, and that obviously caused Varix to have line dialogue marking our progression. So I go ahead and interact with the symbols on the doors, because obviously each one is indicative of what the order is, and me going back and forth here is just making sure that, you know, the system resets after every missed input, and it does. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue doing everything in the correct order. So taking a look at it, the names for the symbols that I came up with was the Ankh, the Stockades, the Angel, and the Hangman. So that's what I have for these symbols. you know, boom, 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 boom. I mean, I guess I should just, you know, stay it so each one's lines up to what it is respectively. But the Ankhs, or the Ankh, then the Stockades, then the Angel, and then the Hangman. Wow, very cool. After that, a hymn resonates throughout the chamber successfully, and we can go through.
Do you hear that?
Yes. Very strange. Varix is unsure of the source.
Follow it, Guardian. Fikrul is waiting for us.
Mithrax did mention some sort of sound resonating throughout him, you know, previously, so I wonder if this is related. I mean, almost certainly is, right?
They shield the commander. Tear their essence from their flesh. Let their essence fuel your wrath.
All right, so this is basically the same map as a previous encounter on the Countess of Elders, which makes sense. We're still back in the prison. Here, this time, the mechanic is that we have a devouring essence, and we need to kill a respective enemy with that essence buff. And after doing so, our essence stack will reset, and we will then be able to take care of another enemy. Honestly, the 45-second timer is rather generous considering the enemies here are incredibly weak. Like, I didn't even do any direct damage to that Revenant, and it was already weak enough for me to just finish off. So, I mean, pretty free low. With them dead, we can go ahead and take care of the Revenant Baron. It stood not even an iota of it didn't even have an iota of a chance of surviving. I did make sure to snipe out the Revenant respawn thing while just, you know, falling midair. I'm just that good. I know. Wow. Okay, just saying random sound.
Could storm Europa and convert NXT in their hundreds. Why is he here? What is he looking for?
Varix hears music once again. Answers must be closed.
I don't know why Mithrax is playing confused because, okay, we can't be pulling out the edge transit when we're that close. Come on. But I don't know why Mithrax is like, oh, what is Fikrul looking for? What do you think he's looking for? We're in a prison. You basically already gave me the answer. Why are you acting confused now? I'm just going to blame it on the curse of Nezarec. You know, he's probably not acting in his right mind. I saw this, you know, the little light in the screen from the corner of my eye, and apparently this was the right way, so we don't have to waste time going in a complete circle. But I did completely forget about this jump here, though.
We have found him, Mizraxkel.
More shields. You cannot escape us, Fikrul. You haven't caught a Guardian. Break him.
Caution, Guardian. Varix does not like this.
You know, obviously I go ahead and take the high ground as I absorb Fikrul from it.
Spolas. He lives. Do you see it, Guardian? Memory of Reef Wars long ago. Years of hubris and bloodshed. The fallen house of wolves, led by Skolas the Rabid. The song. A whirlwind dirge. A seeking song for the lost. But, Varix does not recognize the singer. The echo. It is the echo that sings to us, Guardian. Sings of race through our memories. It seeks an old strength. Strength to guide the scattered through a time of doubt and wrath. But it sees now how Fikrul wields its power. False life for an army of the slain, with those like Skolas for his pawns. The echo seeks another wielder. It demands one who is worthy.
In scale, this cutscene is pretty epic. Varix also confirms here that the singer is the Echo and is just disappointed in Fikrul's actions or whatever somehow. So I suppose the Echo is somehow slightly sentient. And because it's disappointed in Fikrul's actions, it seeks another wielder, one who is worthy. I suppose it should probably go to Mithrax, but the way the story is being set up, it's going to somehow end up going to Aramis for... I'm sure the story's going to justify it, but it's going to end up going to Aramis, and then either that's going to be what sets Aramis free from prison, or it's going to justify Aramis's presence, or she's going to become the wielder of the Echo, and that's why she's going to be important to the rest of the Vanguard. So, I can definitely see it going down that road, even though I think it going to Mithrax and the Echo being the cure or curing part of the ailment caused by Nezarec, and there could be some interesting story going on with the conflict between the Echo contained within Mithrax versus the curse. So obviously I hope it goes to me, but I don't think it's going to go to us, the Guardian. I have no idea how that would even manifest gameplay wise if we end up having an Echo. So it's probably going to end up going to Aramis, and she's going to become like the new leader of the Elixni, but she'll probably go to Mithrax. Yeah. Repeat myself like 4 times over, but I mean, it is Destiny. The dialogue in this game basically does the same thing. So, am I really all that special for doing that? No. Should I be engaging in the same bad habits as a Destiny storytelling does? Also, probably not. But, hey. All right, with this, we have a boss fight against Skolas, Scorned Wolf. I do wish that maybe Skolas was set up beforehand. Maybe he was mentioned in the lore. Maybe he was mentioned like forever ago during like Forsaken era or whatever. But like, I have no idea who Skolas is until like this very moment he was introduced. But the problem with that is that, now Skolas isn't really built up as being some big bad in my mind. It's instead just, a dude. I mean, the fight is pretty simple mechanically. It's like, there's not really even technically like, I guess defusing the Splinter Mine is a mechanic, I guess. And then, once Skolas goes down to half health, he gets an immunity shield. And you just have to go around the map killing the high revenants. But, like, calling that a mechanic is, I don't know. I don't want to diss the term mechanic that much. Like, surely we have to set the bar a little bit higher for what is determined to be a mechanic. But, now that I'm pretty confident in my DPS rotation, of course, I run out of edge transit heavy ammo. So, not great. But, pretty confident in my regular bait and switch DPS rotation. It's not like there's that many enemies. Skolas isn't really doing any damage. I don't know. It's too easy. I know it's a story mission, but I do wish there was an option to, tune the difficulty higher like there is in the campaigns. And, you can earn greater rewards for doing the higher level difficulty, because gameplay wise, this is not a challenge at all. This is like, come on, I'm sleepwalking. Also, I just also completely destroy the AI from a Skolas there as I just bait him around the mine. Like, hello? He wasn't even doing anything. Actually embarrassing. Come on, buddy. I do remember my breakout key is Y. I remember getting frozen earlier and completely forgetting how to break out. But, with that, Skolas is taken care of. Wow. So difficult, I know.
The Echo revives him.
We cannot win this battle, Guardian.
All right, so the Echo revives Skolas, and I want to know if Skolas was dead and then brought back to life, or if it was alive, then we killed him, and then Vickrell brought him back to life as a Scorn. I want to say, based on the context clues provided previously, that Skolas was dead, and that Vickrell brought him back, and Vickrell just brought him back again, because apparently his Echo power just allows him to bring back the dead as many times as you want to. Like, hello, that sounds completely broken. Like, why are you allowed to resurrect a minion that was already killed? But, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't even know how these powers work.
Vickrell escapes with Skolas at his side. You will answer for this failure.
Not failure, Miss Raxkel. We have learned much of the Echo. Vickrell's power rests uneasily in his grasp. There is hope here, Guardian. Let us report to Ido. We must consider our next steps carefully.
Technically, we did fail in our objective of stopping Vickrell and stopping him from obtaining whatever he wanted from the Prison of Elders, but we did at least learn and gain some knowledge about the Echo. That Varix points out, so, it's not a complete failure. Like, I wouldn't say it's not a failure. We did fail at our objective, but it's not a complete failure because, the Echo resenting Vickrell is a new element at play that we had no idea even existed. And with this piece, we can, like Varix said, proceed forward carefully.
Incredible. The Echo is alive? And so is Skolas. My father told me many stories about him. Few good. If the Echo reached out to you, actually communicated using that song from Old Reese, Varix recognized it. Aramis might too. She's nearly as old as he is. She remembers Old Reese. If there's anyone who can reach out to the Echo, help us call it away from Fickrul. Guardian, we have to free Aramis. I know it's a lot to ask, but look, it'll be easy. I have a Golden Age relic that I think Spider will like. A kind of scroll with many vibrant illustrations. Spider has all kinds of useful devices. I bet people ask him for help breaking out of jail all the time. We can't wait any longer. And I know this is the right call, but if it isn't, tell Crow I'm really sorry.
So Ido still hasn't justified why Aramis needs to be freed from her prison. Like, I guess it's to force her to interact with Fickrul now, and so she can hear the echo from, or the song from Old Reese from the Echo. But that seems pretty dumb of a, I understand the idea of wanting Aramis to maybe hear the song from the Echo, but it seems like we shouldn't bring Aramis to Fickrul. We should bring Fickrul to Aramis, right? Like once we have a plan to capture Fickrul, it's like, because we failed at, stopping whatever the dude he resurrected was, Skolas. But I mean, that was just a temporary setback. It's not like we defeated him in combat. He was just resurrected. So if we just stop Fickrul from resurrecting him, problem solved. Of course, what's to stop us from communicating with the Echo once we're in, longer contact with it? Or what's to stop Mithrax from doing so? Or Varix? I mean, honestly, Varix might be the actual true deserver of the Echo, because in Varix's hands, it's probably going to go to good use. And then, after that, it can be passed down from Varix to Ido later on or whatever, for story reasons. But, I think I'm being sold on Varix being the owner of the new Echo. But since Ido is working on breaking Aramis free from her prison, it's probably going to go to Aramis for some reason, because she's worthy, according to the Echo. Why? I mean, she does care about the Lixney. I will give Aramis that. She does care about the Lixney, just probably, not in the
Varix would approve.
correct, justifiable manner. Also cute to know that the artifact Ido's providing the spider is a comic book. So, gonna be pretty crazy. Of course, the icon over Ido keeps on confusing me. It's like, bruh, actually getting trolled here.
So Scribe Ido wants to organize a prison break. I never thought she'd have the claws to defy the Vanguard. Maybe my mentorship is finally sinking in. Still, damn foolish if you ask me. Aramis was never an earner. Did nothing but spend for all those years. Ether, lives, weapons, all wasted. In time, she'll spend Ido's goodwill too, mark my words. But, business is business. I see you have my payment. Check your console. I left what you'll need to open the cell. Just don't let the Praxics catch you with it. They might confuse it for the one that went missing from their vault. Now go. Let Aramis and Fickrul tear each other apart. Just don't let anything happen to our little Ido, eh?
All right, the spider is pretending that the Praxic Order is a faction or that just exists. Literally never even heard of them. I have no idea who they are even affiliated with. First time ever hearing of this order, but they exist, so boom. And I suppose that this is also a bit disappointing of a solution to the problem at hand. I was hoping that, since we're organizing a prison break, the story would actually go through with us being involved with breaking Aramis out of prison, instead of us just being handed an item to disable the prison gate so she can walk free. I was hoping it would be, a bit more complicated, and we'd have to do some weird high shenanigans and do this complex Rube Goldberg machine in order to, break Aramis free from her prison. But no, we just talk to some NPCs and we get an item to break Aramis free. I mean, I do feel like this was a bit of a missed opportunity. Or we're just gonna go ahead and hack the cell. Oh,
You into it, huh?
I have seen more competent escape attempts from hatchlings.
It's not the Guardian's fault. I figured Ido wasn't going to let this go.
And now, back to my cell? Or have I spent your patience at last?
I'll make you a deal. You don't do anything stupid, and in exchange, I won't tell the rest of the Vanguard that their Golden Guardian set you loose. And we all agree to pretend Ikora doesn't already know.
You are not serious.
Ido thinks you're still capable of doing the right thing.
She is naive.
I'd say hopeful, maybe. Ido's convinced you can help us figure out how to stop Fikrul. Fact is, we could use some help. So, I'm choosing to put a little faith in you at the moment. As far as the city's concerned, Aramis is missing. I'll handle it. Just don't let me regret it. I'm counting on you here, Guardian. Aramis.
Insufferable fool. And now, I am at your mercy. For the sake of discretion, let us part ways here. I will contact you once I reach Ido's coordinates.
So, just like that, Aramis has been set free. I don't know, we probably should put like some sort of tracking device around her anklet or something, you know, or giving her a tracking anklet, because, you know, it's probably going to be useful to at least monitor Aramis's location. We did just let a mass murderer free, so pretty cool. We returned to Ido. It's also pretty cool that the crow was just there monitoring our actions, you know. We didn't even try to set up a diversion. Like I said, waste of opportunity. Like, I feel like there could have been a lot more done with us breaking Aramis out of her cell, but it was resolved pretty anticlimactically. I was gonna say unclimactically. It's like anticlimactically. It's like blah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kind of went nowhere. Like, and why was Aramis even locked up in prison? Like, I don't know. This whole act has been incredibly pointless. Like, I mean, I don't even think Act 2 from Echoes was this pointless or this like we accomplished nothing. What happened? We did like literally nothing happened in this act. Oh no, Fikrul got Skulless and Aramis was set free. Aramis was only caught last act and Fikrul just set a dude free. And what did we do? We did nothing. I guess we learned the piece of information that, you know, the Echo is probably somehow going to help us stop Fikrul through Aramis' actions. But like, wow, come on, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. And, you know, as we return to Ido and inform her of the situation, this ends the act. So nothing has happened in this entire act. The status quo has not changed. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. Oh, wow, I didn't even finish the thing from Echoes. Do I really want to get on that? Maybe later. But, I mean, I have nothing else to say. You know, the act just ends with us having done nothing. So, yay, good job us.